Let's watch this. Derrick's got a good addition to this in the spin and side control situation about keeping control. So, Derrick, it's on you, bud. Go ahead and talk about it.
So the two things I want to stress here on the controls is as soon as I get him down in the Kesa, I'm lifting his head and then kicking my foot as deep as I can so I can grab the back of that thigh. I can remember when Steve first showed me that move, it was like the heavens opened and the angels sung, and I was like, I can finally do this pin. The other thing too is, Steve covered this, you really want to clamp down on that arm because it makes everything else super easy, okay?
Now the name of this, is Kesa Gatame, scarf hold, okay? Now the reason it's called scarf hold, Derrick's left arm around Mike's neck is much like they wore what was called a Kesa in Japan. So it's like a scarf around his neck. That's why they call it the scarf hold. So.
Okay. So the next thing is when we come through for the transition, notice that the height of his head doesn't change when I transition over here. Okay? I still want his head up so that I can keep that shoulder up off the mat and it's harder for him to squeeze out of the lock when it comes later. Now, when I transition in, I can even grip my hands together in an S grip. Okay? So lock them together like that. Lock them together in a gable grip, butterfly, grab a wrist, however you want. The idea is if you get your hands together, you can squeeze them in tighter like you're hugging his shoulder, and classic immobilization.
Now look at that right shoulder on the side of left side of Mike's head. It's just squeezing there. And so it's adding, make him hurt. If he's thinking about how much this thing sucks to be down there, he's not thinking about how to get away.
Right.
That's what we want.
And it's not like I'm sitting through while I'm doing this and like lifting up. So it's pretty much legal, okay? Pretty much. So, but the idea is it's uncomfortable and it's keeping him from being able to bridge pretty well, and it's keeping his shoulders from getting flat, which is one of the easier ways to get out of the Juji that's coming up. Now, when I want to get the Juji, as I step up, I can sit here like this for as long as I want.
He's still being pinned, guys. He's being held down.
So, and your foot doesn't have to be there. Your foot can be out here if you want. That's fine. It's setting up for stepping over the head, okay? And as soon as it's up, I just fall back to that arm. He's still nice and high up. Once my knee's up, that elbow's locked in my hip. Go ahead and try and pull it up, okay? See, still in there, okay? Right there, right? So if I'm out here and I let go, there he goes, okay? All right, so knee up, okay? I know my knee's up, I can get it over his head, fall back to the arm. Here we go, step over. There, now he's locked. Knee up, okay? Pop up, there we go. And now it's just the finish. Okay. So the idea is to make it as tight as you can. Just keep tightening that loop, that noose, as you go through the move. Mike was actually bringing this up earlier off camera. The easiest parts to get out of are at the very beginning. It's actually the pins and the transitions between them where you have the most opportunity to get out of it. By the time I get to the arm lock, there's not that many counters to it, and if there are, they usually rely on you being either pretty agile or pretty bendy. So
when you're holding him, what he's trying to say, what he is saying quite well here, is that when you're on top, holding him and immobilizing him, don't give space to the guy. The space lets him find an escape route.
Right.
And so keep everything really compact and ride him out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, you want to try this? So it's basically, it's get Kesa Gatame to more of a Mune Gatame position, side control position, and then work right into a very, very slick Juji. And you notice he never gave up control. You don't have to give up control to get the submission. Right. Just keep, it's just like a, what is it, a python or cobra? What is it, squeezes him to death?
Boa constrictor.
Boa constrictor, yeah. Same thing. Just keep adding more pressure till he gives up and he's done. That's what it is. All right, let's do it, guys. Have fun.